We have just two more phrases left. In the Shanchame Anuvaka, we have got only two more phrases left. Suganchame, Shayananchame, Sushachame, Sudinanchame. So the Suganchame has already occurred earlier in Anuvaka number 2. There I had interpreted this as let us have easy travels from place to place. So, but as we have many times seen in Vedic literature, in fact in all rules is that we should never repeat. And if we repeat, then it must enhance the meaning or give a new meaning. So what is the new meaning here is, let there be easy passage of our life. There it is easy passage of a particular journey. Here it is the whole life. So what is the proof that we should give such an interpretation here? If you look at the spirit of this Anuvaka, Sanchame, Mayaschame, where we are asking for all the auspiciousness throughout our life, here Suganchame should also be interpreted as smooth passage of throughout our life. So the Shayananchame, it is on the face of it, it is comfortable sleep, it is good, sound, rejuvenating, refreshing sleep, which is quite a challenge for a lot of people. And also sleeping without nightmares, see, that also is very important, without fear. That, a lot of people have got psychological issues. They just cannot sleep. They will sleep and get up in the morning, in the middle, and then they will be afraid somebody has come. The slightest noise could be very disturbing for them, and then they will have to check the whole house if nobody has come. So there are paranoid situations. So let there be no such thing for me. Free from insects, too much cold, too much heat. That's the reason why just before we sleep, traditionally we chant a very beautiful shloka and mantra, a prayer. Many of our people know this. Ramaskandam, Hanumantam, Vainateyam, Vrukodaram, Shayane, Yasmaren Nityam, Duswapnam, Tasya Nashyati. So we remember these characters of the epics. Ramaha, Skanda is Shanmukha, Kartikeya, Hanuman, Vainateya is Garuda, the eagle mount of Mahavishnu, Vrukodara is Bhima. Whoever remembers these at the time of sleeping, then for such people there will be no nightmares. I just came across a very beautiful bedtime meditation by one of our own Columbus poets. She's a contemporary poet. Her name is Jill Eisner. She wrote a beautiful poem. I couldn't resist quoting it for you. Beneath this subtle moonlit glow, I thank the Lord, so He will know how grateful I am for life. In times of glory and of strife, the times of glory give me hope. The times of strife teach me to cope. Thus I am much stronger in turn, yet grounded still with much to learn. Now I lay me down to rest. I thank the Lord, I have passed the test of yet another day on earth, grateful for its abundant worth. Beautiful poem. This is one of our contemporary poets. Of course, she is not living in Columbus right now, but she is born and brought up here. So we also chant the Ratri Sukta of the Rigveda. Did we do Ratri Sukta? No. We will do Ratri Sukta also. We have, I don't think we have done in our class the Ratri Sukta of Rigveda. Ratri Vyakhyati, that's how it starts. So the next mantra is Sushachame. Su Usha, actually. good morning. So Sushachame is good morning. Obviously, after a good night's sleep, we have to ask for a good beginning for the following day. So whenever we get up in the morning, we use another beautiful prayer, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Kara Madhye Saraswati, Kara Muletu Govindam, Govindaha Prabhate Karadarshanam. Huh? It can be any, you can substitute as long as the as long as long as long as the meter is there, you can change it, because this is a shloka, it is not a mantra. As it is a mantra,
I have heard only the Govinda version.
yeah, the Govinda version is used. Again, why did I choose Govinda here in this context? Because Go means Veda. Gavam, through the Veda, Vindati, one who knows. So in the context of the Vedic study, I use the Govinda version. We can also chant the Bhagya Sukta. Prataragrim Pratarindragam Havamahe. So for a very good, productive day, Sudinanchame. So what do we mean by a good day? What do we mean by a good time? There is a Purana Vakya, this is from Purana. Dhanyam Tadeva Lagnam Tan Nakshatram Tadeva Punyam Ahaha Karanasya cha Sasiddhi Yatra Harihi Prang Namaskriyate. So the meaning is that moment is Dhanyam, is worthy. Tat Nakshatram, that Nakshatra day is good. Tat Ahaha Punyam, that day time is sacred, is meritorious. When we have properly used our senses and sense organs. Karanasya cha sasiddhi. Then how can our senses and sense organs be ennobled? Yatra harihi prang namaskriyate. Prang means before any project, before you do anything. When you bow down to the Lord, at that point of time, everything becomes sacred. So the subtext here is, if you want to do something good, don't look at the almanac, don't look at Panchanga, don't worry about Rahu Kala, nothing. Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. If you are going to do something noble, something worthwhile, just do it. Only when we are trying to do something selfish for the sake of dharma, artha, kama, then you can see all that, because that Shastra is not false. Shastra is very, very good. But the choice is that when we are doing selfish acts or acts which bring some profit for us, then look at the horoscope. If it is going to be something that is Loka Kalyana, we have to do it right away. Just do Namaskara, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namah Shivaya, say something and start out. That's it. What is the essence of this whole Anuvaka? He Bhagavan Vishveshwara. Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya. So in the context of Shanchame Anuvaka, Vishwa means the gross body of the Vedanta. Because our gross body is called Vishwa, our subtle body is called Taijasa, our causal body is called Avidya. In that, my body is made up of Hey Vishveshwara, you are the one who has made my body. What is the proof? When we started, what did we do? We did the Anganyasa Karanyasa and said we made our own body and mind as Rudra. And therefore here when we say Vishveshwara, we are addressing to our own body, which has now become auspicious as Shiva. And that is also in keeping with the spirit of this Anuvaka. Now you can see the importance of this Anuvaka. Why, if you just chant Shanchame, it is equal to chanting the entire Chamaka Prashna itself. So the prayer is like this. Hey Vishweshwara, you have given me this birth, Janma, this Sharira, this body, these Indriyas, all these sense organs, this longevity, Ayus, and this health, Arogya, wealth, Aishwarya. You have given me the greatest resource of all, time. Can there be any more valuable resource than giving time? And strength. All of this you have given. I resolve to dedicate myself for Loka Sangraha and also for Atma Sakshatkara. My body has got to be used for two purposes. One is to serve the world, and the second is to discover ourselves. So these two, for these two important projects, let there be Shamjame. So that is the conclusion of this particular Anuvaka. There is a little bit of insight that I would like to share with you. Why is it that in our tradition, always, we chant the Namaka Prashna first and Chamaka Prashna later? Why is it? Because any other suktas we can chant in assorted ways, isn't it? Why chant Namaka Prashna and Chamaka Prashna continuously? First reason is chronological.
We are asking for ourselves so many things.
No, why should, that's right. But why one after the other? First let us ask for ourselves. We could do that, right? First we can ask for Chamaka, ask for ourselves. And because I want all these things, I left hand salute. The reason is one, the chronological place of Namaka Prashna and Chamaka Prashna. In the Taittiriya Samhita has got 7 books. Out of that, the 4th book, the Chaturtha Prapataka, it's called Prapataka. In the 4th book, the 5th Anuvaka is Namaka Prashna, the 7th Anuvaka is Chamaka Prashna. So chronologically, one after the other. But that is not reason enough. So there is something more. That something more is, more importantly, the combination gives us Adhyatma Chintana, that means a contemplation on the self. How does he achieve that? Where is the clue? If you look at the beginning of the Chamaka Prashna, it starts from Agna Vishnu. Agni is a terrestrial deity. As a terrestrial deity, let me get all the things that are here on this earth, which means in creation itself. So in the Rudradhyaya, Shiva is Sarvantaryami, that means he inheres in everything. He is also all-pervading, Sarvavyapi, and we remembered every glory of Shiva in the Namaka Prashna. We said that everything, Namo Hiranyabhave Senanye Dishan Chapataye Namaha. So in every single way we said, whatever I see in the universe, it is all inhered by you. So in Vedanta, whenever we are worshipping an absolute entity, it is called Tat. So in the Chamaka Prashna, what are we doing? In the Chamaka Prashna, we are saying me, ki, me. So that is called Tvam. So Namaka Prashna becomes Tat, Chamaka Prashna becomes Tvam. a part of the phrase of Tattvamasi. That is why Rudra Namaka Chamaka is also called as the Upanishad, or Rudropanishad. But then we are not talking about Asi. That means the merger of the absolute Tat and the individual Tvam. What happens in Vedanta? It becomes Tattvamasi. It becomes Advaita, or unison of the absolute with the manifest. But here we don't add that. Can you think of what is the reason for this? It is only Tata and Tvam. It is because this is part
Because it is Karma Kanda.
part of Karma Kanda. This is part of Karma Kanda. That means in Karma Kanda, our interest is Upasana only. And in this Upasana, it is so important, this Upasana, because the Kathopanishad gives us a clue. What is that which is being worshipped by all? Sarve Veda Yat Padamamananti. We have studied this recently in our class. Sarve Veda Yat Padamamananti. That is, all the Veda mantras indicate that Paramartha Tattvam. So the whole of the Namaka Prashna is pointing to Tat. And that the texts which point to the highest Brahman, the Tat, is the Namaka Prashna. Now, only he who understands the essence of the Tat through the knowledge of Veda only, Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam, can understand that extraordinary Atman which is within ourselves. Now you see the depth of where Namaka Prashna and Chamaka Prashna are taking us. Otherwise we would just say, okay, we are going to use all this in Abhisheka and then we are going to think of some meaning, but it is actually a bridge between Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, and this is why this has become so important. And therefore, one who chants the Rudra mantras or performs the Abhisheka or Yajna without knowing its meaning, then for him, his knowledge is very, very limited. He will only get a little bit of merit and he will only get a little bit of comfort in this life, but nothing more than that. So to be able to go further, Na Vedavit Manute Tam Brihantam, without knowing the intrinsic meaning of Namaka Prashna and Chamaka Prashna, a person will never be able to go to a higher plane. That means he will not even be fit for studying the Upanishad. So, for studying the Upanishad, first of all, we have to worship the Lord who is manifested as the universe. The universe itself becomes his body. So, Agna Vishnu, Agni is the one who we call as the Sopadhika Ishvaraha, is the technical term. Sopadhika Ishvara means one who is superimposed by worldly things. So that is why we said one who has got golden arms, Namo Hiranyabhave, you superimpose the divine golden arms on Shiva. Namo Harikeshaya. So one who has got green hair. Green hair is all the trees and arms and trees and shrubs. The trees and shrubs are the superimposition upon Shiva who is inside. And that Shiva is the energy with which everything manifests, everything is sustained and everything is absorbed. And all this together is called Agni. So Agna Vishnu, Sopadika Ishvaraha is Agni, the all-pervading Brahman who is behind this Agni is Vishnu. So as soon as you say, complete the Namaka Prashna, Dhyana, meditation, and then you take up the Agna Vishnu, as soon as you say Agna Vishnu, that means you have understood the manifest universe, and you also understood the inhering Brahman. This much of contemplation should go every time you chant Rudra Namaka Chamaka.
But why do we chant Namakam Chamakam mantras for other Abhishekams too?
Because, as I said, for the same reason. Because Rudra and Shiva is not the anthropomorphic Shiva Rudra we are talking about. Any Parabrahman manifesting as Ishvara. So how does Parabrahman manifest as Ishvara? See, whenever Parabrahman, the Absolute, is actually from within itself, the gunas manifest. So what are the gunas? The Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tamo Guna. So when Parabrahman is associated with the Sattva Pradhana Prakriti and without any taint of Rajas or Tamas, such a entity is called Ishvara. So whenever we say Vishnu, Shiva, Devi, whatever you say, what is that? It is Parabrahman associated with Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. When this Parabrahman is associated with the Tamah Pradhana Prakriti, it is the inanimate world. Okay? When it is associated with Rajah Pradhana Prakriti, it becomes the living beings who have got Kama Krodhadi and then Lobha Moha. All those facts will come in varied degrees. That is why different personalities occur. What does Namaka Prashna do? Namaka Prashna shows the ideal of Parabrahman coming into association with Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. Chamaka Prashna shows us that I am looking for Parabrahman with Sattva Pradhana Prakriti, manifestation of Ishvara in every one of these objects. How do we understand this? Suppose everything you have asked for in Chamaka Prashna is given to you, where do you have place to keep it? Where do you
still want more?
No, but still, where do you keep it? Isn't it? You don't have a place to keep it if everything is given. So what is the shift that takes place here? Wherever all these things are there I am. Isn't it? There I am. So that transformation is what Chamaka Prashna is talking about, and therefore contemplation of Saguna Brahman takes place in Namaka Prashna. Realization of the Nirguna Brahman comes out of my renunciation of everything in Chame. See, it is not I want all these things that happens in Chamaka Prashna. It is all these things I don't want. So when you say all these things I don't want, how do you express it in the Veda itself? The expression is Yajnena Kalpantam. What is the definition of Yajna? Devatodesha Purvaka Dravyatyaga. Definition of Yajna: Devatodesha Purvaka, for the sake of offering up to the Lord. Dravyatyaga, giving up possession of material things, is Yajna. So in Chamaka Prashna, what are you doing? What you are saying is, Jaishtyancha me, Adipatyancha me, I want leadership. I want to be king. Right? All these questions we are asking. I don't want to be king. I don't want to be the boss. If I am the boss, you sit inside me and make me discharge my duty. So when that happens, Stula Sukshma Sharira, everything will become Divyam. Means it becomes divine. So when such a state of divinity is achieved, then the Loka Kalyana takes place, then Loka Sangraha takes place, Atmodhara takes place. Another beautiful thing happens. That means one of the most difficult practices in spiritual life is endurance, titiksha. So such an attitude will teach us how to practice titiksha, how to practice sahana shakti, how to get sahana shakti. There is a reference to a beautiful questionnaire in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It's called as Kahola Brahmana. In that Kahola Brahmana, a student, actually a questionnaire called Kahola, he comes and questions Yajnavalkya. Just because you acquire Brahmajnana, there are 6 kleshas, not the kleshas of Yoga Sutra. Yoga Sutra kleshas are avidya, asmita, etc. There are 6 kleshas related to the body, and they are called as ashana, pipasa, shokam, moham, jara, mrityu. 6 of them are there. That means hunger, thirst, sorrow, attachment and confusion, old age, and death. So the question posed is, just because you have known Atman, does it mean to say that all these 6 will disappear? Was the question asked by Kahola to Yajnavalkya. Because if it doesn't disappear, I don't need this jnana. I am already overburdened with lot of information. For that Yajnavalkya answers, no, when you become an Atmajnani, you will learn to bear that. When you become an Atmajnani, you will learn to bear that. You remember one of my favorite quotes, all-time quotes of Ramana Maharshi, where he says, pain yes, suffering no. That means you will learn to go through and bear the pain. So much is actually embedded in the Shanchame up to Shanchame Anuvaka. So we will now see, it will be going in the 4th of the Anuvaka, which will take up next week. It will ask for all the comforts in the family. Samsarika Sukha Prarthana. Which means that I want to get all these Sukha so that I will not be bothered by these 6 kleshas. Isn't it? If you are in a family and all of them are loving, somebody will cook. That means you will have no worry about hunger. There will always be somebody will bring you a water, or you bring water to another member of the family. No pipasa. Because there is love in the family and mutual support, there is no shoka, there is no dukkha. Isn't it? So therefore, while they are all there, you can counter them by having a comfortable family life. So naturally, again the prarthana, all the prayer is so that all these comforts are given to me, so that I will have a freedom in the mind, the chitta shuddhi, so that I can contemplate on the Atman.